Umpire Door about to get the game underway. Mossop, Moore. These two will do most of the ruck work. Moore will change with Turner later on. Mossop, his second game back after a long injury, gets a hit out. Nobody can get it out quickly. Melbourne's Withers, number 15, Turner. And the Geelong player Stoneham in number 26. He was in 53 last week. Got the handball away, and the umpire has got no alternative but come in to ball it up. Andrew Buse, 27. Play on the centre wing. Umpire Robertson. Jarrett gets a hit out towards centre half forward. Leading in for the race of the ball is Terry Bright under the pack. Can't get it out. Batterson in there. And again, the umpire will have to come in and ball up on the edge of the square. Geelong kicking to the right of the screen. Melbourne to the left. Ball comes down. Nobody can get it out. Again, the ball will have to be thrown up. And I'll introduce fellow commentator Ray White.
Thanks, Don. As umpire Robinson. That's the ball again. Over the back was Turner. Still very scraggy. Nothing's happening. Boss in there, and I think you'll find the umpire will break up the pack and give Boss a free kick. Boss sending into the centre. Up the pack, Billy Brownless. Moore kicks it up. I'll find Alan Jarrett. Jarrett's got a nice hand pass. Coming past is Rodney Wright. And Wright, the wingman, sends it down forward. Melbourne couldn't get it then. Reynolds punched away then by Yates, and the ball will travel over the line and out of bounds. Well, these two sides have met here at VFL Park three previous occasions, with Geelong holding an advantage of 2 wins to Melbourne's 1. There's the ruckman again. Turner with Mossop. Nothing happening. It's very scraggy. He lost his shorts then, Turner. Batterson swings around, has a leftward snap. I'll tell you what, he nearly put it through. No, just offline for a point, so that puts the first score on the board. So Melbourne 1 point, Geelong yet to score.
Yates, the full-back for Geelong. Kicks out long, Turner and Flower. Nobody can get it down to. Flower picks up quickly, the boot. Ball smothered off the boot. Newport, 34, a long kick towards goal. Is it Reynolds? We'll just wait on the umpire. No, the umpire said the ball went over the line. And another point. Melbourne 2 points, Geelong yet to score, and we've played 2.5 minutes into this first quarter. The game very scrambly. Yates, the fullback, goes long. Moore and Mossop to do battle. Yes, the umpire found it. Moore put his hand in the back of Mossop. And Mossop the free kick. Goes short towards the centre wing and finds O'Keefe. O'Keefe, the Western Australian, big tall wingman and a good player, goes long towards centre half forward. Brownless in there. Moore has it punched away. Jarrett, 47, taps it out to Richards. Richards breaks through a handball further down the ground. Another. Moore to Withers. Withers in turn across to Newport. Newport not under pressure. Chips. Looking for Reynolds. Has he found him? No. Goes up one hand. Flower quickly onto the ball. Onto the right foot. Snaps to goal. And Melbourne's first goal. Kicked by Robbie Flower. 8 points. 1-2-8 Melbourne. Geelong yet to score. 3.5 minutes of the first quarter.
It was good play from the captain, Robbie Flower. And good to see Robert playing out there again after his recent bad run of injuries. So the Demons 8 points to Geelong yet to score. Geelong will be very keen to do well here again today after their first win last week against Footscray, and Melbourne been a little bit disappointing in the last few weeks after a very good start to the season. So the umpire, Robinson, Moore and Mossop. Buse trying to work it out as Withers. Players all descend on it, and will be another bounce and a bit of pushing and shoving there by a couple of players, not much in it.
Hughes came in and landed a heavy bump then, Ray. That was the reason for that.
Right, umpire Door. Scraggy, as Don said, the game not really opened up yet. O'Keefe off the ground. Couldn't be picked up then by working his way through as Bruns tries to kick it off the ground. Richards, Brownless. No one getting an advantage. Comes out clear to Alan Jarrett. Alan Jarrett sends it down forward. Newport. And Stephen Newport's taken a nice mark. So the Melbourne ruck rover sending it down forward, looking for Reynolds. A bit of a push there by Cleve, but play on by Yates, and Yates clears it out the back, and it'll go over the line and out of bounds.
Melbourne's right half forward flank. Mossop, number 10. Lyon, number 3. The centre half forward, only a young player. Mossop, easy hit down, under no pressure. Christensen, quick kick out. Cross to Mossop. Shocking kick off the boot. And leading in the race there is Grinter, under pressure from Stoneham. Grinter gets his kick down towards centre half forward, over the pack. Bright in there. Yates comes back to help, and the umpire has found a kick to Bright. Bright plays on quickly, and Geelong clear. Turner, Flower to do battle on the wing. No, Flower keeps it in play. Good play, Robbie Flower. Across to Boz, 24, the centre man. Nigel Cole, ex-Geelong, a high kick in towards centre half forward, and coming across and taking a good mark is Martin Christensen. Christensen, the back pocket for Geelong, has shepherded, and we'll just wait on the umpire. No, he's got to go back and take his kick over the mark. So Christensen, who has his brother playing as well, Damien ruck roving, and Martin in the back pocket. Well, this is a real mix-up here. Now has his kick to the centre wing. Flower in front. Nobody can bring the ball down. Over it is Damien Christensen. Boz. Healy gets a quick kick onto his right foot. Sends it in the high ball. Not looking for anybody in particular. Comes to the ground. Coming in now, Flower. No, Batterson picks it up. A handball. Withers, the centre player, goes in long, looking for Reynolds. It's a 2-on-1 situation. Reynolds up high, can't bring it down. Mossop taps over towards Yates, and Yates will play safety first football and take it through for another point. So Melbourne 1-3-9. Geelong yet to score. 7.5 minutes played in the first quarter.
Old Yates sending the ball out. Centre half back. Up the back. Oh, nearly took a mark then was Grinter. Wright then sends it up forward, but Terry Bright will take the mark in the back pocket. Well, Melbourne have been into attack for most of this first quarter. As coming round the back then is Darcy for Geelong. But good one-hander there from Lyon. He's got more going past. More onto the right foot. Sends it down there looking for Reynolds again. 47 Christensen. Should have been a free kick. And I think you'll find that Martin Christensen will get the free. Handballs it over to his teammate Andrew Buse. He's got Johnny Mossop and Newport. Mossop flicks it over, trying to come through, and the ball should go over the line and out of bounds. Well, it's coming up to the 9-minute mark, and Melbourne still holding a 9-point lead, 9 points to Geelong yet to score.
Ball chipped in towards along that outer wing, and taking the mark is Stephen Newport, the half-forward flanker for Melbourne. Goes long towards centre half-forward. Pack of players. No one can be Yates. No. Play on. Over to Darcy. Darcy can't pick it up cleanly. Christensen in there. Players just throwing themselves in. Damien Christensen. A long ball out to the captain, Turner. Turner shepherded. Goes in towards centre. Not a good kick off the boot. Leading in the race is Lindner. Well done, Bruce Lindner. Gets tackled. Cross to Moore. Hughes. A high kick. Packno, punch down. Grinter, a long kick in towards full forward. It's a pack of players, a shepherded through. Rodney Grinter's first goal, Melbourne second. 2-3-15. Melbourne getting away from Geelong. Geelong yet to score, and we've played 9.5 minutes in the first quarter.
Well, Melbourne have been into attack just about the whole of the 10 minutes of this first quarter, and Geelong haven't been down forward at all. So Melbourne have got off to a very good start. There's umpire Doe coming in. Bounce. The big men, Moore and Mossop. Mossop gets the hit out. But coming through is Richards, and he will get a free kick. So Russell Richards just in the centre of the ground. Good. He nearly couldn't get round him, got caught. I don't know why they do that. Bruns couldn't get it. Coming in there is Batterson. Richards recovers and gets it down, and I think you'll find That will be Alan Jarrett. And Alan Jarrett, the ex-North Melbourne player, followed Ron Barassi over here to Melbourne, sending it down the forward line, trying to get it as Michael Reynolds, but Geelong clear it out the back. David O'Keefe takes the mark on the wing. Now he's got time. Up to the forward line, Bill Brownless, but Newport, no, it was that Melbourne player was Cole, Nigel Cole, the ex-Geelong player, and the umpires decided to give a free kick to Bill Brownless.
Brownless, half-forward flank. Geelong's left half-forward flank goes long. A beautiful kick up to Ablett. Nobody can get it. The ball over the pack. Leading in the race is Stoneham. 26, kicks off the ground. Soccer-type kick, but it goes through for a point. So Geelong register their first score. 15 plays 1 at the 10.5-minute mark of the first quarter. Paul Payne, 43, brings the ball in for Melbourne. Finds Moore. The mobile Moore out along the outer half-forward flank, or half-back flank for Melbourne. O'Keefe in the lead, shoots it up towards Ablett and Payne, but the ball goes over the line. Left forward pocket. Melbourne kicking to the right of our screen. Melbourne kicking to the left of our screen, I should say, and Geelong kicking to the right. Stoneham, 26, to do battle with Moore, 30. Over the back, Moore, punch out, down to nobody. Batterson, 16. Picked up by Wright. Wright in turn going short, and who has he found? It looks like Danny Hughes, the centre half-back, the former Port Adelaide player. And play at the moment, not particularly good. Melbourne have controlled it up till date. Geelong have only gone forward on 1 or 2 occasions. Ball centre wing, Withers, a quick kick out, sending it further down. Leading in the race is Hocking, 41, who played very well last week against Footscray, and coming through is Yoke. No, Boz. I'm sorry, Darcy. I'll get it right. And Gary Lyon takes a good mark. Lyon, a much improved player in his first season of senior football. A short chip to Batterson. Newport has the ball smothered. Comes back in towards the centre, and following up quickly is Batterson. There's a terrier. Handball to nobody in particular. And Darcy will punch the ball over the line, and the ball to be thrown in Melbourne's right half-forward flank.
Well, Melbourne 15, Geelong 1. As the umpire throws it in. Turner at the back is Cleve. Bright. Can't pick it up. Tackled by Bruns. Now Bruns sends it out the back. Coming across, Stoneham can't control it. Grinter, Flower comes in. The Melbourne skipper should get a free kick, and will. Works it over then to Nigel Cole. Cole kicks it down to forward. Is he found in his Melbourne teammate Newport? Kicked off the ground and marked then by O'Keefe, who's playing a very good game on that wing. So David O'Keefe kicking it down over the centre to the half-forward line, punched away by the Melbourne defence. Can't pick it up there as Boz. Good body work. But coming through now is the centre man for Melbourne, Withers. As Geelong clear it out by Boss, over to Linda. The ex-South Australian, great mark there by the Cats, and that'll find Craig Evans taking the mark. Evans tries to get round, he does get round, runs straight into the Melbourne player, and should be a free kick. He got round Grinter, but then ran into Withers as the Demons go forward. Hocking, a great player last week against Footscray, as it's been handball by Christensen, and it'll go over the line and out of bounds.
Melbourne's left half-forward flank. 15 playing 1. Melbourne 15, Geelong 1. Mossop in front, Turner over the back, gets it across to Darcy. In towards the centre, Jarrett just can't pick up the ball. Comes back onto his left foot. Across to Flower. Flower goes long, looking for Reynolds, but there's a host of Geelong players there. Reynolds over the back, good play, son. Christensen picks up. Across to Yates. Can Yates pick it up? Christensen shepherding, gets his kick out towards the half-back flank, punched on. And there's a free kick, and that'll go against Rodney Wright. He was holding his Geelong opponent. David O'Keefe, and O'Keefe will take the free kick. Centre wing. Goes in towards the centre. Brownless in front and takes a good mark. Plays on quickly to Bruns. Bruns going across the ground looking for Linda, and has he found him? No, he hasn't. There's a free kick against Hughes. Really, Hughes was in a position where he had to give away that free kick. He had to put Linda under some type of pressure, otherwise Linda would have taken the mark. Linda short, looking for Ablett, leading out, and has not let him down. What a good pass and what a good mark. Bruce Linda, the pass. Gary Ablett, the mark. A sensational player is Ablett, wearing number 5, which was made famous by another Geelong star, Polly Farmer. Ablett lines up, no mistake at all. He registers Geelong's first goal. Geelong 1-1-7, trailing Melbourne by 8 points. Melbourne 2-3-15. 15 plays 7 at the 15.5-minute mark of the first quarter.
Well, that was a great pass from Bruce Linda, and very well led out by Gary Ablett. And Gary kicked 6 goals last week in a fine performance against Footscray, and he certainly makes a lot of difference to the Geelong side. Gives them something to aim for. There's Mossop, Bruns coming through, the Demons. Number 19, that's Rodney Wright. The umpire says, give it to me, fellas, and we'll bounce it again. Well, the game hasn't been really a high standard at this stage, but the closer the scores now, so we'll probably keep an interest as Craig Evans comes out. Andrew Buse, fine footballer last week, swings around, plenty of room to move. He's got Stoneham coming through there nicely. There's Linda. Linda's clear. He only has to steady down and put it right through the middle. Good football, Bruce Linda, and that was good football by Stoneham and Evans. Down to Linda, and Linda did the right thing, steadied down and put the goal right through the middle. So that takes Geelong on to 2-1-13 and now trailing Melbourne by 2 points, 2-3-15. Coming up to the 17-minute mark of the pro football game here at VFL Park.
Well, that was well read by the young ruck rover Evans, taken off last week, read the ball well and shot a nice long handball over to the unattended Linda. 13 Geelong, 15 Melbourne, 2 points the difference in favour of Melbourne. Moore coming in from the side, gets a hit up over Mossop. Ball in nobody's land, coming through there is Boz, hits it on quickly over to Bruns. Bruns high, looking for Ablett, behind Payne. Well done, Payne, punches the ball down. Hughes coming onto it quickly, under pressure from Linda, shepherded by Payne. Oh, what a shocking kick by Hughes. Back towards Christensen, under pressure from Hughes. Ablett looks around, picks it up, goes left then right. Quick kick, Payne. Oh, there's a mark. Bruce Linda from behind. Got the ride, goes gone quickly. Good play, Linda, looking for Evans. And Evans, who said, take this handball earlier, Bruce Linda, and kick yourself a goal, did so. Now Linda says, cop this pass, Evans, and kick yourself a goal. Now Craig Evans, only a matter of 20 metres out from goal. Hughes is now picking up Linda, the 2 former South Australians. The ball on its way. Nice kick off the boot. We'll just wait on the umpire. No, but the accuracy is a problem. However, Geelong have crept a point closer. Melbourne 2-3-15. Geelong 2-2-4. Payne. Stoneham 26. Jeff Rosino's old number. And the ball in dispute, and the umpire really has no alternative, umpire Robertson, but to come in and ball the ball up. Geelong's right forward pocket. Robertson. Stoneham. Ball down. Buse. Moore tackle from Linda. Dummies a hand pass. Then tackled by Jarrett. And very lucky to get that. The umpires are awarding the fellow now who is laying the good tackle. And Jarrett on that occasion laid a good tackle as far as umpire Robertson was concerned. He's got the free kick. Back pocket for Melbourne. A high kick towards centre wing. Punched down by Boz. Healy, a courageous little player. What a shocking kick. Goes further around the flank. Regolo chips a little one over to the running Batterson. Can he pick it up? He's got pressure. Oh, courage, son. Courage. Well done, Adrian Batterson. Anybody who knows anything about football knows that this little fellow is a terrier. And he didn't deviate off that straight line despite the opposition coming. And he's got the free kick. Now Adrian Batterson, about a 45-degree angle. I think the distance will be a problem 40 odd metres out from goal, but obviously he thinks he can kick it. Deliberating. Good kick off the boot. Will it swing to the left? No, it doesn't. And so Melbourne, another point. Melbourne 2-4-16. Geelong 2-2-14. And we've played 20 minutes of the first quarter.
Well, Terry Bright kicks it out. Michael Turner marks in front of Robert Flower. The two captains, both fine players on one another. As the ball comes down to the half-forward line, Batterson couldn't trap it, and it will go over the line and out of bounds.
Grinter's gone on to Brownless, Ray, and Hughes, I mentioned earlier, is picking up Lindner, so that's an early change.
Right, Don. Now, Healy, Regolo, a left foot shot from Frank Regolo. Can it come around? No, just offline and through for a behind. So that takes Melbourne on to 2-5-17 to Geelong 2-2-14, coming up to the 21-minute mark. Little kick out, Terry Bright. Couldn't get them very far, but control the ball. And O'Keefe leading out, just has the mark, playing well on that wing. So the ex-West Australian kicks it high in the air, up the back, punched away. No one can get there. It's Geelong through the agency of Boss. No one can play it. Jarrett, Moore, Peter Moore picks the ball up and then kicks it down forward, but Terry Bright should take the mark or get the free kick. Frank Regolo come back. So Bright changing direction. He's got two players over here. He's found his captain, Michael Turner. Bruns making a position down the ground, but no, good play, Robert Flower. Held him up. So Michael Turner, half-back flank. Up the back is Rodney Grinter. Couldn't get the punch, but traps the ball. Handballs it over. Alan Jarrett shepherds off nicely for Mark Withers. Withers, a little left foot shot looking for Newport, and coming through to support him is Grinter. Batterson, but O'Keefe gets in front, picked up, and will be a free kick against you, Adrian. And David O'Keefe, who's having plenty of the play in this first quarter, gets the free kick.
Now O'Keefe at centre half back, goes long. Usually a beautiful kick, and there's no exception. Out the position in which he is playing, O'Keefe, and that's the centre wing. Hughes in turn towards centre half forward, and Lindner getting away from Hughes. Hughes, number 10, was named at centre half back. The move made. Now he's supposed to be picking up Lindner. Gave him plenty of latitude there, and Bruce Lindner, who played exceptionally well 2 weeks ago, had a quiet day last week. He's already kicked one goal, lining up for his second. 30 metres out, straight in front. Ball on its way. Looks a good kick off the boot. And it is a good kick. So Geelong have hit the front. Geelong 3-2-20. Melbourne 2-5-17. 23-minute marks. 23-minute mark of the first quarter. And Eishold has come on. We'll just wait to see who has gone off. And Eishold in the forward pocket. Terry Bright pricking up Eishold. Moore, Mossop. Batterson going in. Moore paddles it on the ground. Turner had a shocker last week. Ball scramble Moore. Good handball out to the running Regolo. Regolo overruns it. 17 picks up, turns back on his left. No, right, handballs. Indecisive. Picking it up, I think that was Withers. And Turner. Shocking at the moment. Play very, very scrambly. Nobody can handle the ball cleanly. Christensen paddles it out. Buse. Shocking play down to centre half forward, and coming through is Richards. Richards a little chip. Centre wing leading in the race for the ball is Rodney Grinter. Grinter left foot, another chip in turn. Two Geelong players, a 2-on-1 situation. And taking the mark, I think, is Darcy. Tim Darcy. Grinter used the body well. Good play against David O'Keefe. Now Grinter sends the ball back to where it came. Geelong up. Yates, the ball over the head. Terry Bright backing up well. And really didn't look for anybody in particular. The ball off the side of the boot. And to be thrown in. And Melbourne's left half forward flank.
Actually, Don, Michael Turner queried Terry Bright why he kicked it over that side when Michael was waiting on that other flank for the ball. There's the cleave. Lyon kicks it over. Coming through is Michael Turner and Flower. Goes to right. Lyon again. And could have been just about over the... It was a bit unlucky then, Don. Over the bound on the fall.
Over the boundary line.
Yes. So it's a free kick to David O'Keefe.
O'Keefe was named on the other wing. They've changed wings, Ray. O'Keefe and his player, Wright, are playing on this particular wing, the grandstand wing, and Turner and Flower have changed. Now Mossop in the centre. Goes long. Looking for Ablett. He's got away from Payne and it's taken a good mark. Ablett extremely quick over the first couple of yards.
It's a free kick, Don. Free kick.
That's against Terry Bright. I didn't pick that up. Did you, Ray?
I think Bright was doing some shepherding, Don.
And Icehold has the kick.
Well, Icehold sends it down to the centre wing. Up the back is Darcy, but taking it away is Lyon. And Lyon sends it down. Regolo. Good mark. More of the running Moore on the left foot, but would be offline and through for a point. Well, Frank Regolo's had a fairly long history of injuries since he's been at the club, so I'm sure he's hoping for a bit of a change of luck and more consistency and having games without having problems coming off the ground with arms, and he's had a few problems with the arm and shoulder. As the ball comes back, we're talking the same player, but it's Stoneham who's taken a mark in front of Regolo. Not a good, yes, or Billy Brownless, could have been in the back, not paid. Good play, Christensen. He's got Bright coming over to backing him up as Bruns. Oh, good play then from Wright, he didn't move. So the both players descend on the ball and will be a ball up. Well, Bill Brownless, after 6 games this year, has been named in the Victorian squad, which is a great credit to him. So next Tuesday night, you might find the young rookie from Jerilderie, is it Don? Jerilderie, playing his first game for Victoria. As it comes down, Danny Hughes. Well, Linda's certainly giving him headaches at the moment, but not a good kick from Hughes, and a mark by O'Keefe. Linda's been a very, very busy player. Has had to kick 2 goals, and has had 4 kicks and has had 3 marks, so he's causing a few problems down there. As Newport gets the handball to Cole, the ex-Geelong player. Could have been in the back then, but Turner took the, Lyon took the mark, and it should be nearly 15 yards if you don't get away from him, David O'Keefe. And Lyon not playing a bad game, a little pass, and he finds Nigel Cole, the ex-Geelong player. Gets clear, has a shot, but offline, and puts it through. Not a good kick then. So it takes Melbourne on to 2-7-19. They've been very inaccurate at this quarter, trailing Geelong by 1 point, 3-2-20, coming up to the 28-minute mark of the first quarter. So the ball comes up to the centre wing. It's Brownless. At the back is Richards. Punch to the ground. Coming through then is Buse. Let's get the handball over to Boss. Boss a little left footed. Here is the danger man again at the moment. Linda, he's clear of Danny Hughes. Hughes does catch him. Bruns kick, good play, Neville Bruns. Good support then from Melinda. It's picked up by Geelong, and that would be Christensen, but he's offline, and that was good play then, the shepherding, and that'll be 1 point. So that will take Geelong on to 21, leading Melbourne 19.
Well, we're into time on period in the first quarter. Paul Payne, Melbourne's fullback, as the siren goes. Geelong 3-3-21, leading Melbourne 2-7-19. Newport back on for Melbourne. Turner off. Newport on the half-forward flank. And in the forward pocket is Icehold. Icehold named on interchange. Play about to get underway as umpire Robertson holds the ball aloft. Moore coming in along the centre line. Mossop gets the hit out. Ball cleared out and well taken there by Regolo. Punched away by Geelong. Up to Hughes. Hughes going long. Melbourne have control play in the first quarter, but haven't capitalised on the scoreboard. Coming through Newport. Bright, desperate play. Throws himself on the ball. Reynolds underneath, can't get it out. And again, I would love to know how many bounce up there have been around the ground today. A very scrappy game in that department. And a lot of ball ups. Mossop, Lyon, Mossop gets it down to Buse, and Buse onto his left foot, clears out to Melbourne's right forward flank, and leading in the rate is right. And the race is right. He gets it across to Christensen. Christian to O'Keefe, and back to Martin Christensen. That was Damien Christensen, 39, and 47 is Martin Christensen. Martin Christensen in the back pocket. Damien Christensen ruck roving. Play on Melbourne's right half forward flank. Mossop and Moore to do the ruck work. Contrasting styles. Moore far more mobile than Mossop, and Mossop a very good centre tap ruckman. The ball on Geelong's half forward flank. There's no one there. Coming through is Burke. 23 is Darryl Burke for Melbourne. There also was Barry Burke, who played in number 23 back in the 60s. Burke gets a free kick, sends the ball out towards the wing. Coming over the back, Moore. O'Keefe, number 31, over the ball, and he'll get the free. No, he won't. The umpire said play on. Christensen, a little chip into centre half forward, and left all unattended is Brownless. Brownless, not good play by Brownless. It was bad play by Richards, I'm sorry. Richards allowed Brownless to get away, and he's only 30 metres out from goal. Brownless kicks a high ball. We'll just wait on the accuracy. And the accuracy is there, so Geelong have kicked the first major of the second quarter. Geelong 4-3-27. Melbourne 2-7-19, and we've played 2 minutes in the second quarter.
Well, young Billy Brownless certainly knows where the goals are. A very accurate and long kick, and a real great player of the future. So Geelong 12 points up, coming up to 3 minutes of the second quarter. And after a slow start, the Cats have taken the initiative in the game. There's the ruckman, Moore and Mossop. Mossop again. Buse sends it down. Linder, the danger man. If he can, yes, he's clear of Hughes again. And could have nearly got a 15-yard penalty. So Bruce Linder, certainly very busy in the first quarter. Kicked 2 goals, had 3 marks, and had 4 kicks. So the ex-West Adelaide player coming in. Should be within distance. Ball just offline though, so that goes through for a point. Danny Hughes should certainly want to tighten his game up, because he's causing a little bit of a problem to them down there in that forward line. There's Payne, Moore. Oh, no talking. Alan Jarrett and well,
that was over the line on the full, Ray.
I think it was, Don. I think Peter Moore's a bit frustrated then. Gave his teammate Alan Jarrett a bit of a glare, but not good play on both players. They're not talking. Thrown in. Mossop coming through as Boz. Handball to Buse. Buse tries to run through his Melbourne opponent, and Gary Ablett and Payne followed over the line and out of bounds.
Play in Geelong's left forward pocket. They haven't had that much of the play. Melbourne have had more of the play, but Geelong far more accurate when kicking to goal. Stoner, Moore. Their ball down over the back. Grinter, Payne. Payne looking for someone, finds nobody. Goes long on the left foot, finds Flower. After quite a bit of deliberation, Flower turns back into play. Is he going to handball? No, he doesn't know what to do. He's trying to draw players. Then goes onto the left foot in towards centre half forward. Bright leading in the race for the ball. Handballs to Hocking. Hocking 41, can't control the ball. Running towards Melbourne's goal. Well done, Terry Bright. Comes to land assistance, and Bright changes direction of play, goes across goal to centre half forward, and Mossop. Mossop, a little chip towards the centre. Brownless leading Hughes in the race for the ball. Hughes scoops the ball out. Strong body work. Brownless can't pick up. Mossop gets the handball across to Boz. Boz in turn across to Christensen, the back pocket player. Turns it into his brother. Damien across to Brownless. Brownless left unattended by Richards. Long he goes towards full forward. Oh, and what a strong mark. Paul Payne at the full-back position. A shocking left foot kick across goal. Looking for nobody, just trying to relieve pressure. Players throw themselves. Nobody can pick it up. Payne again. Kicked it and then re-kicked it in the back pocket. And there's a number of Geelong players, and the mark will go to Tim Darcy. Yes, it is Darcy. Flower and also Turner contested that mark. Darcy in turn to centre half forward, up over the back, Newport. Across to Ablett. And what has he done? No, he hasn't. He was all set to kick another goal, but unluckily hit the post. So Geelong have kicked another point for 5:29. Melbourne at 2-7-19.
Rod Payne coming through then is right. Taken away by Richards. And he clears it up for the centre wing where O'Keefe and Lyon. Coming through is Darcy. Picked up now by Tim Darcy. Handballs to Michael Turner, the Geelong skipper. Goes for the under forward line, coming across David O'Keefe. And David O'Keefe certainly playing a great game. This will be kick number 8 for O'Keefe. And he's certainly playing a great game for the Cats on the wing. So the ex-West Australian certainly been a replacement for the players Williams and Bolton, going to Sydney Swans, and that's a good goal. And that's what they want, Geelong. 5-5-35. Melbourne 2-7-19. And as Don said, Melbourne has been down forward probably more times than Geelong, but they've been terribly inaccurate, and Geelong are capitalising on their opportunities, Don.
Well, it shows on the scoreboard, Ray. Geelong have had 10 shots for goal, Melbourne 9, yet the difference is 35-19. 16 points the difference in favour of Geelong, and we have played 7 minutes in the second quarter. Moore gets it back over his head. Leading in the race for the ball is Rodney Wright. Wright, under pressure, gets his kick towards centre half forward. Ice hold in front of Bright. Over their heads, coming through Darcy. That was strong play, Tim Darcy. Regolo can't control the ball, and the Geelong defenders quite desperate down there, as all defenders seem to be. And they've trapped the ball, and Robertson is going to bounce yet again. 30 metres from the Geelong goal. Mossop. The Melbourne goal, I should say, across to Christensen. A high kick towards centre wing, over their head. Coming through is Evans. Evans onto his left foot, goes long, looking for Ablett. Away from Payne. And no, he can't take a mark. And Payne follows up well, only to see the ball over the boundary line on Geelong's left half forward flank. Hughes back on Brownless, and Richards has been moved to his original position. And that is on the half-back flank on Lindner. Lindner causing a few problems on Melbourne's back line. The ball to be thrown up again, or bounced down by umpire Dorr on Geelong's left forward flank. Moore, Stoneham. Nobody can trap the ball. It's cleared by Melbourne. Leading in the race is Evans. Evans, a quick handball out to Christensen. 47 goes in short centre half forward. There he is, Lindner over his head, and coming through is Payne. Dodges over to Hughes. Turner in hot pursuit. Turner after the captain. Oh, good turn. That was a magnificent tackle by Michael Turner. Now Richards in towards centre half forward, and who's he found? Nobody. Over Withershead. He couldn't hold the mark. Boz. Cross to Cleve. Cleve, a left foot. And over the back, Stoneham. A little bit too much height there for Grinter. Stoneham in turn to centre half forward. Moore. Evans gets a handball. He's under pressure. Quick. And views a quick handball over the back. Lindner tapping it on. This is basketball. Indirect stuff. As Buse traps the ball and finds Turner out by himself on the half forward flank. Turner short.
Not a good pass. And Richards takes the mark in the back pocket. Well, Michael Turner could have ran a bit further then and got the ball right up into the goal square. So back out to the centre wing, nearly a mark to Lyon. Newport and Batterson chased the ball over the line and out of bounds. Well, Geelong 5-5-35, leading Melbourne 2-7-19 at the 10-minute mark, a 16-point lead. And both sides a little bit indirect, going around the flanks. They should be going straight down the centre. Now Geelong do that, right up there. But Gary Ablett, he had 3 of them then and took a great mark. Well, the Melbourne players just looked at one another in disgust and amazement. So the champ from Myrtleford, Gary Ablett, should kick this. He's only 20 metres out, just on a slight angle. Little Little drop punt. What's he done? No. Well, that's unusual for Gary. He never normally misses those. So that's not a good, a costly miss. So it takes Geelong onto 5-6-36 to Melbourne 2-7-19. Actually, Payne's not doing a bad job on Gary Ablett as the ball comes out the back. Reynolds down on the half-back line. In front then is Flower and Turner. I think you'll find is going to be a free kick to the Melbourne captain. And Michael Turner not very happy with that. But the umpire said you dropped the ball. So Robert Flower, little pass to even Newport, and gets away from Damien Christensen. So still in the centre wing, and Melbourne going to the right of the screen, sending it down to the half-forward line. Cleve, over the back, is taken away by Geelong. Keith Bruns comes through the back line. Up there to Billy Brownless, and Brownless has taken a nice mark. Well, the Geelong forwards are in front of their men. Over to Bruns. Bruns now Ablett and Payne. Payne, could have been nearly a free kick to Gary Ablett. A little bit unlucky, Payne. He didn't really mean to do that, but, well, Gary Ablett was in front and deserved that free kicked on.
Well, Ablett played for that ball. He knew where Payne was. He looked at Payne before the ball came down, positioned himself, backed into Payne, and Payne really didn't have any alternative but to reach over Ablett's shoulder, and Gary Ablett has kicked his second goal, and Geelong go on. They are 6-6-42 and Melbourne 2-7-19. We have played 12 minutes of this second quarter, and Geelong certainly are getting away from Melbourne. Melbourne controlled a lot of the play in the first quarter, yet were unable to capitalise on the scoreboard. And now Geelong are really starting to take a stranglehold, but it is a very offensive game football today, and that lead shouldn't be hard for Melbourne to pull back if they get their act together. Moore gets a hit out over Mossop. Throwing himself over the ball is the Melbourne player. We'll just wait for him to get up. And it looks like Frank Regolo. It is Frank Regolo. Umpire bounces the ball. Moore gets the hit out. Left hand across to Regolo. Oh, he had the running Flower, but he decided to go long. Behind, Hughes. Yates. Across to Cleve, to Bright. They're running the ball well out of the back line. Turner and Flower. Well done, Robbie Flower. That is a good battle between two very, very good players. Hughes has been moved from centre-half back to full forward, and Reynolds has gone to centre-half back, picking up Brownless. Hughes has been moved about quite a bit today. Moore and Mossop. Ball down on Melbourne's left half-forward flank. Leading in the race for the ball is Yates. Can't pick it under pressure from Hughes, and that was indiscriminate by Danny Hughes, and he's given away a free kick to Mark Yates. Yates from Mount Gambier goes out and finds a Panola player, and that Panola player is John Mossop, the big ruckman.
Well, Mossop sending it up to the centre wing. Brownless coming up the back, punched away by Flower. Little chip by Bruns. Over to Hughes. Hughes breaks clear onto the left foot. Sending it down to the half-forward line, but marked in front there by Richards in front of Linda. So Hughes has been taken off Linda, as Don said, and he's down the forward line. And now they're giving Richards the job of trying to hold that player as the Melbourne come up to Simon Eishold. And Simon Eishold, the young player in his first season, has marked in front of Terry Bright. Eishold, little pass. Regolo. And Frank Regolo originated from Assumption College. So Frank Regolo, fair way out. He'd be about 50 metres out on an angle, but a left footer, and it's on the favours that side, and it's a lovely goal. Great goal, Frank Regolo, and that was well placed, and that brings Melbourne back because they needed that. Melbourne 3-7-25, still 17 points behind Geelong, 6-6-42. At 15-minute mark, and it was about the first time for a while Melbourne showed any direct play then, Don.
Melbourne making a change. Adrian Batterson coming off, and going on is Brett Bailey. Bailey looks like he's going into the centre of the ground. We'll just wait and see. Withers gone down into the forward pocket. Bailey's now going in, and we see Moore and Mossop. Bruns. Nobody can get it out of that pack. Players throw themselves in. And again, the umpire has no alternative but to bounce up for the umpteenth time. The game has only been going 1.5 quarters. We're 15 minutes into this second quarter, and Mossop and Moore do the ruck work. O'Keefe in there, can't get the ball out, and the ball will be bounced maybe 5 yards or 5 metres closer to the Melbourne goal, and Robertson will have to pay a free kick, I think, in order to break up play. Cleave. O'Keefe gets the ball. Well done, David O'Keefe. A high chip to Lindner. No, and Richards. Strong play. Richards breaking away. Looks for the handball further up the ground. Healy, another. Oh, this is a hospital pass. And Cole, very lucky, gets it across to Jarrett. Jarrett looking further down the ground, but Yates in front of Hughes takes an easy chest mark. Mark Yates across to Hocking. Hocking doubles back, sends the ball back where it came. Oh, and Lindner, that's a free kick against you, Bruce Lindner. Interesting decision that. Had he have taken the mark, I had no doubt.
They would have paid the free,
the umpire would not have paid the free.
Wouldn't have paid the free.
They would have paid the mark, but that was a definite free kick. Now, Wright sends it back to centre half forward. In front, Yates. Darcy, I should say, across to Hocking. Hocking transferring play to the outer wing, and in front there is Stoneham. Can't hold an easy chest mark. Overrunning the ball. The ball now hit towards centre half forward. Mossop can't bend down. Healy across to Jarrett. Jarrett, a high ball, looking for Hughes. Hughes and Yates will do battle. And well done, Danny Hughes. Used his strength and body and held out the smaller Geelong player, Yates, and Danny Hughes only 20 metres out from goal. Damien Drum now on for Geelong, and Ruck Roving, and Christensen, that's Damien Christensen, is on the interchange. As Hughes lines up for Melbourne's fourth goal. Ball on its way. No, a backman's kick, another point. Melbourne desperately needed that goal. Melbourne now 3-9, playing Geelong 6-6. 42 plays 26. We've played 18 minutes of the second quarter.
Well, Danny Hughes not having a good day today. There's Terry Bright. Sends it out to the half-back line. Punched away by Newport. Geelong come through the agency of Christensen. Over to Hocking. Paul Couch on the ground. Mossop can't pick it up. Players jump on top of it, and the umpire will bounce the ball. So 19 minutes, coming up to the 19-minute mark, and Geelong 42, Melbourne 26. Moore and Mossop. A bit of pushing. Mossop. Hughes. O'Keefe. And O'Keefe clear. Sends it across the half forward or the wing where Brownless just couldn't hold it. And, good play then, Billy Brownless. He just pulled Richards Reynolds off the ball, and a little pass far to Bruns. Good play there, Bill Brownless. And Neville Bruns might be a little bit far out for Neville, but he's got the mark around about the 45, 50 metre mark out, just on a slight angle. Well, he might, he's going to have a go at it. He feels confident as he walks in. It's swinging across the right, which means it'll go through for a behind. So that takes Geelong 6 under 6-7, 43. Melbourne 3-8, 26. As Payne will pass to Alan Jarrett. So didn't really get them that far. It's Jarrett in the back line, back pocket. Half-back flank, Billy Brownless. But out the back, punching the ball away as Reynolds. And will go over the line and out of bounds.
Ball, left half forward flank. Geelong's left half forward flank. Just waiting for the umpire to retrieve the ball. The boundary umpire to throw in. And Stoneham and Moore to do the ruck works. Moore's strength. The umpire's found a free kick. Stoneham, you are hanging on, and Moore will get the free kick. Melbourne's right back flank. Chips the ball in towards centre half forward and finds his Melbourne teammate. And that teammate is Rodney Grinter. Now Rodney Grinter at centre half back. Looking further down the field. Their lead's coming, goes to the centre wing. Pack up. Jarrett underneath. Can't pick up the ball. Use his strength. Good handball out to Cole. There, Brett Bailey waited for the ball, and coming through strongly is Boz. Boz. Oh, what a Lux of fortune. Bruns back to Ablett. Ablett onto the left foot, chips it. A shocking kick straight across the front of face of goal and through for another point. And Geelong move on to 6-8, 44. Melbourne 3-8-26. We've played 20 minutes of this second quarter, and Melbourne desperately need goals. They've had 11 scoring shots, whereas Geelong have had 14. Geelong have been far more accurate in approach to goal. Ball out, looking, and Flower. He has found Flower. Flower chopped off. A long handball. Cole under pressure from Evans, and the ball will be thrown in on Geelong's right half-forward flank.
Well, unusual to see Gary Ablett miss that goal. That's twice we've seen the champion attempted shots missed. But anyway, back to the play as comes across to the centre of the ground, where a nice mark there would be taken by Stephen Newport. He sends it across to the half-forward line, making a yard is Frank Regalo. He's trapped it. He handballs it over to the Melbourne player, and it comes down to Ishold. The back is Bright, Hocking, and will be a free kick. Will go to Lyon. Umpire says Damien Drum, you didn't get rid of the ball. So Gary Lyon up to the full forward. Hughes, Isold. Hughes chases the ball, but he's got too many Geelong opponents, and the Cats come out the back through Darcy. A nice little hand pass. Bend down there, Damien Drum. Can't just get it clearly. Finally picks it up to Cleave. The Couch, left foot, just gets it rid of it. Was pushed as he kicked. So Melbourne send it out of the back, and it goes over to the centre wingman Newport, going nowhere. And play is really very scrambly done.
The ball on the centre wing. Moore, Stoneham. Moore gets it down to Drum. A courageous player is Damien Drum, across to Boz. Boz in towards centre half forward. Looking for Evans. Evans is there. Tries to attempt a mark. He can't. Butters up well. Evans, a left footer. Across to Brownless. Brownless running into an open goal onto his left foot, and what a shocking kick off the boot. It's a slice, and the ball will have to be kicked in Geelong's left forward pocket or Melbourne's right back pocket. Now Grinter sends the ball back. More pack up, nobody can bring it down. Bruns shovels it out. Jarrett waiting there. Cole. And Cole sends it around the boundary line. Damien Drum. Boz Shepherds. Well done, Tim Darcy, I should say. Drum in turn up to the half-forward flank, and there's a free kick down the ground. The advantage being paid, or the free kick for a penalty down the ground being paid to Craig Evans. Now Evans, only 50 metres from goal. No, it's not. It's going to Brownless. No. Yes, it is going to Brownless. And Brownless well within kicking distance. Anybody else that would be out of kicking distance, the ball on its way. Floats across the front of goal and punched down by Moore. Through for another point. So Geelong, a 6-9-45. Melbourne, a 3-8-26. We've played 24 minutes of the second quarter.
Payne. The Melbourne half-back line. The back. Brownless. Melbourne cleared through Reynolds. Regalo flicks underneath tunnel ball style to try and get it to his Melbourne teammate. And, well, I don't know what's going on there, but the Melbourne player is getting the free kick. So it's out of bounds on the full. So Wright sending it up. Bright gets in front of Isol, and good play, Terry Bright. Experience showing there. He moved in front of the youngster and took the mark cleanly. Well, Terry Bright, been to Geelong, came from Geelong West in 1976, so he's been here, probably the veteran, as Billy Brownless, starting to take marks. Sending it down, a beautiful kick. Ablett, and Gary Ablett. No, umpire says no mark. Oh, Nigel Cole just couldn't get it clearly as Paul Couch throws himself there. Good play, Couch. The play's going nowhere, and the umpire said you threw the ball. Well, don't worry about it, son. You worked hard, and you stopped the play then from getting away. As Melbourne, Richards comes to the ground. Oh, Alan Jarrett. Now he gets the handball. Come on, Melbourne now. Cole. sending it up to the centre wing, and Isold now in front of Bright and should be paid the mark or the free kick.
Eichel, right half forward flank. No, a free kick against Geelong. A 15-metre penalty against Terry Bright. Now Eichel, a high kick looking for Hughes. Hughes and Yates. Nobody can get it. Turner under there. Play on, says the umpire. Christensen. Soccer. The second half is better than the first. We're nearly asleep in the first half. Moore is off for Melbourne, and doing the ruck work is Stephen Turner. Turner 31 to do the ruck work against Mossop. Play about to get underway. 39 is Christensen. 33 for Melbourne is Healy. Brownless. Tackled by Reynolds. Ball paddled out. Coming through there and getting a solid bump is Tim Darcy. And Darcy on the wing cuts it across to Hocking. Hocking in turn, left foot high towards centre half forward. Players set themselves. Brownless in front, can't bring it down. Lindner, chip off the ground. Reynolds. What this player does with the ball, nobody knows. Goes long out towards the outer wing. Icehold in front. And the ball, will know, it's paddled out the back. Picked up by Geelong. I can't pick that player up, but Melbourne go
Healy,
forward through Healy. A high ball over Bright's head. Bright comes back towards centre half forward. One bounce. Then goes to long towards centre half forward. Brownless, Mossop. Hughes off the hands of the pack, and the ball will be marked by Geelong. And that player taking the mark is Mark Boz, the centre player. Chip one out towards Mossop. Mossop can't trap it. Hughes. Reynolds. Oh, this is slow motion stuff, this football. Hughes again. Kick off the ground. Regolo onto the left foot, going to a centre half forward. And backing up there is Darcy. Can't pick it up. Moore on. And he's chasing Yates, and the ball in Melbourne's left forward pocket.
Well, as Don said, the game has been very, very average up to now, and that would be an understatement.
Actually, that's a compliment, Ray. Average.
Thanks, Don. Ball thrown in. Moore over the back to Jarrett. Jarrett has a shot for goal, but offline. And Alan Jarrett puts Melbourne's 28th, takes Melbourne's 10th behind on the board, takes them on to, 9th behind, 3-9-27, trailing Geelong 6-9-45.
Melbourne have made a number of changes in order to stimulate a little bit of play, and we'll endeavour to pick all those up, Ray.
Thanks, Don, as young Stoneham follows the ball over the line and out of bounce. Melbourne kicking to the left of your screen, and the ball at the moment is in the Melbourne half-forward line territory. There's Turner, and the players just seem as lackadaisical, and the ball once again goes over the line and out of bounds. Well, Geelong holding an 18-point advantage at the start of this third quarter. As the ball comes down, there should have been a free kick. No, yes, the umpire said you held that Geelong player, which it's Martin Christensen. So Martin Christensen, Frank Regolo on the mark, up to the centre wing, and marked there by Grinter. He shoots it across. There's Lyon and Isold. Terry Bright chasing. Young Isold in front, working the ball. Good play over to Lyon. Lyon, a little chip shot, and he's found Alan Jarrett. Well, Alan Jarrett's going back. He could have went on then, but no, Jarrett now sending it down to the forward line, leading out, and a good mark to Peter Moore.
Actually, that was the best passage of play I think we've seen today, Ray. Sorry to cut across
That's
you, but
right, Don.
Moore, Lyon, a little chip across to Jarrett, and Jarrett steadied play on that right half forward flank, chipped a nice pass into Peter Moore, and Moore took a nice chest mark.
Well, Peter Moore down at full forward now to see if they can stimulate some goal-kicking activity, as Peter Moore played at full forward in his early days at Collingwood, but maybe that's why they put him into the ruck and he won a Brownlow medal, so he kicks another point. So Melbourne move on to 3-10-28, Geelong 6-9-45, and well, Melbourne only kicked 1-1 in the second quarter to Geelong's 3-6, and Melbourne don't look like they're going to kick many more goals if this is the way they're kicking for them.
Yates, Flower and Turner. It's been a good battle between the two captains. Lyon, number 3. Well done, Gary Lyon. Newport, a chip over to centre half forward. Regolo, O'Keefe, Boz. Nice handball out. Christensen in turn a long one down to centre half forward, the little man. And there's a free kick against Rodney Wright, and it'll go to Neville Bruns. Bruns looking for Ablett. Ablett's got a paddock. He's got a paddock in front, picks an easy ball up, gets around his opponent Payne, long in towards the goal square. Is it a goal? No, it's not. Off the hands of the pack, and Geelong a point further ahead of Melbourne. Geelong 6:10:46, Melbourne 3:10:28, and we've played 5 minutes of this third quarter.
Well, Lyon on the half-back line. Kicks it over there. Turner taps it on. Picked up then by Wright, Rodney Wright. Looking down the ground to the centre. Jarrett punched away by Darcy. Coming through is Bruns. Kicks it over to the wing, and a nice mark on the chest to young Craig Evans in front of Stephen Newport. So Craig Evans, bad. Oh, he didn't deliberately do that. He just, I think he stubbed the toe into the ground as he kicked it, and it goes over the line out of bounds on the full. Well, the main goal kickers for Geelong at the moment is Linda and Ablett have had 2 each, and the main goal kickers for, well, there's only 3 at Melbourne. Flower, Grin and Regolo had kicked 1. As Darcy, Buse, good football, breaks clear. Oh, nearly got tripped. The umpire says play on. He wasn't tripped. Actually tried to do too much there, Andrew Buse. And Stephen Newport will get the free kick. So Stephen Newport to relieve on the half-back line, sending it down to the centre wing. Players flying. Cole taken then by Tim Darcy. Hocking, no, he decides to kick it down to centre half forward. Cole, and Nigel Cole will be paid. No, it's Stephen Newport. Well, Newport will relieve. Oh, sorry, it's Nigel Cole sending the ball down to the centre of the ground. Turner, Isole coming out the back there, giving him a bit of shepherding as Burke sending it down there, but I think you'll find Yates, and Yates has taken a clean mark in front of Peter Moore.
That was a strong mark and a courageous mark by Yates. He was under pressure by Moore. Yates gets it out. Geelong relieving the pressure, looking for Mossop. He can't bring it down. In there is Lyon and also Craig Cleave. And umpire Robertson yet coming in to bounce again. 46-28, playing 28. 7 minutes played in this third quarter. Mossop to do the ruck work. Turner 41. Newport 34. Strong tackle. Christensen across to Turner. Turner around to the right half forward flank. Geelong's right half forward flank, and a good mark by Rodney Grinter. Grinter in front of Damien Drum. Drum, who has only just come on the ground. Player that always impresses me with his courage is Damien Drum. And Gary Lyon over the back, can't take it. Withers butters up well. A left foot in towards centre half forward. Players throw themselves into the play. Darcy can't trap the ball. Finally does. Back onto his right foot. Back towards the centre wing. Lyon and Linda up high, and Reynolds over the back. 3 players up, and the third one up had the better judgment, and that was Russell Richards. The former Seymour player plays on quickly across to Withers. That didn't really achieve much. Lyon now back onto his left foot, looks for someone down the ground, can't find him. That was Stephen Newport. Isole over the ball. Coming out is Christensen. That's Damien Christensen across to Boz. Hughes, looks like Hughes is playing in the centre, traps it better. A long kick into the forward pocket. In actual fact, a little right of the forward pocket, and it's gone through for another point. Melbourne need goals, not points. Melbourne being led by Geelong. Geelong 6:10:46, Melbourne 3:11:29. 8.5 minutes of this third quarter.
Robert Flower couldn't trap it, handballs it over. Lyon, bad luck. Cleave gets it away, and now Geelong through Christensen up to the half. Look at this. Bruns got time to turn around. Ablett leading, uses the body. He's clear. He should pick this up and kick it right through the middle. Bad luck, young Payne. But Ablett read the play better, and that puts Geelong's 7th goal on the board. 7:10:52, Melbourne 3:11:29, and that's Gary Ablett's 3rd goal.
Well, that was Gary Ablett's 3rd goal, all set up by Bruns, but obviously it wasn't Bruns' good play. it was the Melbourne players' undisciplined play to let Bruns get away by himself on that half-forward flank, and Bruns kicked the ball into full forward, and Ablett, who has greater body strength than Payne, kicked his third goal. Turner rucking against Mossop. Turner gets it. Withers started off in the centre, now roving, gets the ball out. Cleve coming through hard. Bright, a handball. Hughes quickly gets his kick in towards centre half forward, and all up by himself is Gary Lyon. Gary Lyon getting away from Craig Cleve, and Lyon well within kicking distance. Just slowing down play now, more led. But now a short pass on, and in that hole is Alan Jarrett. A former Moore U player, recruited from Moore U, went to North Melbourne and then transferred across to Melbourne. A player again with a lot of courage and tremendous body strength. Jarrett, ball on its way. And straight through the centre, and Melbourne have kicked their fourth goal. Melbourne now still trailing Geelong. Geelong 7-10-52, Melbourne 4-11-35.
Well, that is a goal Melbourne have been waiting for quite a while. They've only kicked 4 for the game, and funnily enough, Don, they're still in this game, only 17 points difference.
And Gary Lyon at centre half forward playing a very intelligent game.
So Geelong 7-10-52, Melbourne 4-11. It's 135 as it's Turner in the ruck, and Boss sends it out. Ablett at the back. Payne taking it off the top nicely as Richards. Handballs to Burke, and Burke on it, got time down to the half-forward line. Regolo and Newport, and Stephen Newport comes across and takes a mark on the half-forward line. Quite too far out for Stephen Newport to kick this, I'd say, but he certainly should get it right down to the forward line, Don.
Ablett now at centre half forward, and Brownless at full forward.
Newport gets it up. It's a good kick into the square. Moore, but the Geelong defence through O'Keefe and Yates rush it through for a behind. So Melbourne 4-12-36, Geelong 7-10-52, 12-minute mark. As it's kicked out, Bright, and Bright decides to play it safe, and Jarrett and him went to the ball, and it would go over the line and out of bounds in the half-back line. And Melbourne kicking to the left of your screen as Moore taking the ruck work down the forward line with the Mossop, and John Mossop, who was probably held control in that area today. He's got the free kick. Drum, now the running Darcy sends it down to the half-forward line looking for young Evans, and Evans got away from Cole. Sun in his eyes, but then he's looking for the lead. Brownless at full forward. Oh, an easy lead. Just strolled out and took that mark in front of Michael Reynolds. And a little chip past Gary Ablett, and Gary Ablett's taken the mark in front of Payne. Well, Geelong forward, 2 key forwards seem to be always in front of their men, and Melbourne certainly have to tighten that part of their game up if they're going to have any chance of winning this game. Ablett having a shot for goal, but will be offline, through for a point. So Geelong move on to a 7-11-53, trailing Melbourne 4-12-36. 13-minute mark of the pro football game between Geelong and Melbourne, and Gary Ablett has kicked 5 behinds, which is very unusual for his goal-kicking accuracy. As Payne brushes away from his opponent, Drum, and sends it down to the half-forward line. Cleve, and great mark from Craig Cleve over the top of Gary Lyon.
Cleve relieves the pressure for Geelong, goes out to the centre wing, and Geelong with a series of hand passes endeavouring to run it into their forward line. The handball back to Hocking. Hocking looking further down the ground but sees no movement. Well smothered Danny Hughes. Another handball, Geelong moving it around. Evans over the top. Christensen. Ball smothered. Damien Drum over the top of it. He'll keep his eye on it. Drum picks up, goes onto his right foot and shoots for goal. But inaccuracy a problem, or accuracy a problem, and another point to Geelong. Geelong 7-12-54, Melbourne 4-12-36, 14 minutes of this third quarter. Goal kickers to date for Geelong. Ablett has 3 and 1 each to Lindner, Brownless and O'Keefe, whilst for Melbourne, Each singles to Flower, Grinter, Regolo and Jarrett. Turner leading in the race for the ball. Just can't get down and pick it up, and the ball will be thrown in on the centre wing. Michael Turner just out of touch. We know Michael Turner is a very, very good player, and it is an interesting duel between he and Flower today. Mossop over the back, Hughes. A punch, a big punch. Leading in the race for the ball is Regolo. Back onto the left foot. Well done, Regolo. Got around Christensen. The ball, won't be smothered by Boz. Goes long, looking for Withers over his head. Moore, he's got a paddock now. He can bounce the ball, but goes in towards goal. Well done, Peter Moore. Peter Moore's first goal and Melbourne's fifth. Geelong 7-12-54. Melbourne 5-12-42. 15-minute mark of the third quarter.
Well, Melbourne have kicked nearly as many goals in this quarter than they have in the whole game. And Peter Moore was livened up their forward line, which was lacking in the first half. So a 12-point advantage.
Patterson on and Withers off.
Right. So umpire bounces it. Turner. But coming out there for Melbourne was Newport. Kicked off the ground by Withers. Down to Isol in front of Bright. Gets it to Lyon. Lyon kicks it out. Up to Jarrett. Couldn't take the mark. Coming there for Melbourne is, looks like that's Patterson. Over to Turner. Just straighten up. Oh, no, son. Right in front. Bad miss, Don.
It was a shocking miss there. It was a good build-up by Jarrett. Lyon also was involved. Lyon's been instrumental in this third quarter for getting Melbourne going at centre-half forward. Important position centre-half forward. Turner had a lot of time there, and that was a very, very bad miss. So waiting now for Yates to bring the ball in. 54 plays 43 in favour of Geelong. The ball comes to ground. Nobody can pick it up. Geelong crashed through. Can't pick up with Cleve. Across to Bruns. Bruns runs around the big Turner. Goes up forward looking for Ablett and does find him. Gary Ablett getting away from Paul Payne. Ablett now at centre-half forwards. Dummies. Goes long looking for Brownless, and Brownless getting away from Reynolds and has taken a good mark. Some 50 metres out from goal on a slight angle, maybe a 45-degree angle. Now the distance won't be a problem for this fellow. The accuracy will be. No, Brownless has chipped one, looking for Ablett again. Oh, well done, Gary Ablett. Well, that was well done. Ablett in front of Payne then. He's got tremendous body strength, Ablett. He can fly for those marks. It's not the fact of judgment, it is the fact of strength, the way he is able to hold his position in the air against the opposition. You can't blame Payne. Payne endeavoured to do the right thing, and that was punch the ball from behind, but the greater body strength of Ablett was evident as he's lining up for his fourth goal. Ball on its way. Just wait on the umpire. And there is Ablett's fourth goal. Gary Ablett's fourth. He's kicked one in the first, one in the second, and two in the third. And Geelong 8-12-60, Melbourne 5-13-43, and we've played 18 minutes of this third quarter.
Don, those two, Brownless and Ablett, cooperate very well and team well.
Well, that was good play, actually. Ablett covered a lot of ground. Then he shot the ball over to Brownless and then ran from the centre wing, or halfway between centre wing, half forward flank, into that pocket and took the mark. Two players involved in that goal on the forward line.
Well, it gives them a two-prong attack, and certainly Geelong have lifted since these two players, and Ablett coming back to join Brownless in the attack and giving Geelong a two-prong attack and giving him some activity down forward as the ball is sent down to the Melbourne half-back line, Hocking. And Turner with young Withers, and it goes over the line and out of bounds. Coming up to the 18.5-minute mark. Geelong 60, leading Melbourne 43. As Turner and Mossop lean on one another. Newport couldn't get that out. And umpire Ian Robertson says, I'll bounce it up and we can see if we get a bit of clearance in this play. So, the ruckman, Turner, has been on the ball since Moore moved down to forward. Cleve, Mossop, and a nice mark there of a young Christensen. Hocking, over to Evans. Yes, well, Rodney Grinter said, look, I didn't mean to do that, umpire. Grinter accepted the fact that he did it. He gave the signal to the umpire that he did the wrong thing. and now all these players are coming in and pushing and shoving, and as Rodney Gritter's trying to explain that he didn't really mean to do it. So trainers and runners and everybody's out there. There's young Evans, probably a bit of a sore neck.
I think it'd be more of a sore ear, Ray, than a sore neck.
It'll be on a cold day, Don. It certainly would hurt. No, umpire, yes, up there. Oh, in the back. Should have been Ablett. No, umpire said, I thought the umpire said didn't play on, but Ablett breaks the way, has one bounce, gets away, but taken by Richards, but Ablett handballs it over. Couldn't be controlled by Linda. Back to Gary Ablett, has a hook shot. Brownless at the back, but no Melbourne defence to send on it. Or could have been a free kick to Geelong. I think he legged him. That player, Don, is Damien Drum. Well, it was good play to Ablett. I thought the Melbourne defence had got out of that. May have been a bit unlucky. But Damien Drum, as Don said, a very courageous player. Right in front, shouldn't miss this. And he hasn't. And he's put on Geelong's 9th goal. Geelong 9 goals, 12, 66. Leading Melbourne 5-13-43 at the 20-minute mark.
Well, that was a costly fumble by Russell Richards, a half-back flanker for Melbourne. He fumbled the ball on the half-forward, on Melbourne's half-back flank, allowed Gary Ablett to come in, swoop on the ball. Ablett centred it in towards the goal square. There was a congestion of players, and Damien Drum finished up with a free kick and the goal. But it all started because of the fumble by Russell Richards on Melbourne's half-back flank. Now back in the centre, Robertson. Umpire Robertson to bounce the ball. 66 playing 43. 21 minutes played of this third quarter. Turner and Mossop. Turner. Nobody can get it out. It looks like Stacks on the mill. In there battling hard is Withers. Play on. And players throwing themselves down on the ball, and nobody can get it out. And the umpire again will have to come in and bounce. 5 metres closer to the Melbourne goal. 27 is Bewes for Melbourne, and Bewes gets it out, tries to spin, tackled by Withers. Mossop can't get it out. Handball, John. He goes for the kick in turn to clear the pack, and that was a good mark by the Geelong player and Damien Drum. Damien Drum kicked Geelong's last goal. Sets up the running Hocking. Hocking long in towards full forward, looking for Brownless. He's in front and has not let him down. That was good play by Brownless. Started behind Reynolds on that occasion, and it just shows you the speed that this fellow does possess over the first couple of yards. Was behind the Melbourne defenders, but in 1 or 2 strides got in front and took an easy mark. Now Brownless only 30 metres out from goal, straight in front. Ball on its way, and Geelong's 10th goal. Brownless's second. Geelong 10-12-72, Melbourne 5-13-43. 22-minute mark of this quarter, and again set up by Damien Drum. I do not know why they leave this fellow out of the side. Been responsible for the last couple of goals, and a player with a football brain and a ton of courage.
Umpiring Robertson. Geelong have kicked 4-3 in this quarter to Melbourne 2-3. As Cats can't get it up. It's picked up there by Darcy. And Melbourne, should have been a free kick, would have been a bit accidental. They've come back to have a few words.
Evans has gone off and Couch on Ray. Couch was the fellow who just kicked the ball.
Right, Don, and now the Melbourne runner and Mr. Linder, Bruce Linder are having a little bit of a altercation. Robbie Flower just trying to get break the pack up, throws the ball over to Payne. Payne to the wing. John Mossop taking the mark. Has been the best big man. Oh, now Turner. Stephen Turner just had a little bit of a altercation there with John Mossop, but the gentle John has played very well today. And will be a 15-yard penalty against Turner. He decides to handball to Hocking. Hocking on the left foot. Centres it. Up the pack go. Ooh, nearly a mark there as Cole sends it down there, but now he's finds Darcy all on his own in front of Alan Jarrett. Has time to pick it up. Looks for Terry Bright. and Bright makes position in front of young Simon Isold. 20 coming up the 25-minute mark as Terry Bright just kicks the ball over to his teammate and David O'Keefe. Making position as Damien Drum, but O'Keefe ignores it. Centres it to the forward, looking for Bill Brownless. Oh, over the back and taking a nice mark is Stephen Turner. Fella from Perth. Hasn't done really that much today, but that was a good mark to relieve the pressure for the Melbourne side. So coming up to 25-minute near time on, and Geelong 72 leading Melbourne 43 as the centre wing hit over the back, and Isold and Bright, but Terry Bright in front of his younger opponent. Oh, good play. Flicks it over to Andrew Buse. Buse has time to turn around and send it back to the centre wing. Up the back is Damien Drum. And a nice hand pass. Onto his teammate to full forward Billy Brownless. Can't trap it. Bruce Linder. Handballs, but it's straight to the Melbourne opponent. But the umpire is going to give a free kick there, I see, Don.
It's a free kick against the Melbourne player. It's going to Geelong. We'll just wait on.
Pick it up, Don.
It's against
Bruce
Nigel
Linder?
Cole.
Or Neville Bruns. It's either Linder on.
Looks like Bruce Linder.
Actually has been fairly quiet since the first.
Or is it Damien
forward?
Christensen?
Could be. That's Linder, I think, Don. So they all look alike, don't they?
Linder, only 20 metres out from goal, lining up for his third goal. Ball on its way. We'll just wait on the umpire. Has it floated across the face of goal? Yes, it has. So Geelong 10-13, 73. Melbourne 5-13, 43. 26 minutes mark. We're into time on. And there wouldn't be terribly much time on to be played in this third quarter, as we're waiting for Reynolds to bring the ball in. Couch 7 takes an easy chest mark on Geelong's right half forward flank. Couch named on the interchange bench. Going for the long kick into the goal. Left footer, a nice big long kick into the goal square. Players fly, and who's taken that screamer? Bill Brownless. Brownless in front of the pack then took a very, very nice mark. Has been out of play. They made a shift. Ablett to centre half forward and Brownless to full forward, and that certainly sparked up the Geelong forward line. Brownless has taken 8 marks to date, and the accuracy is right on target. He's right on target, and he kicks Geelong's 11th goal. Geelong now 11-13, 79. Melbourne 5-13, 43, 27 minutes of the third quarter.
Well, that opens up a 36-point lead to Geelong, and now seem to have taken control of this game. Melbourne very inaccurate early in the game, but since about halfway through the second quarter, Geelong have had control of this game by their 2 key forwards, Brownless and Ablett.
All the players up around the centre square. The only 2 in the forward lines are both full forwards, Moore and Brownless. Every other player is up around the ball.
Well, Neville Bruns can't get it clear. Geelong over to Michael Turner, and the running captain, little chip pass to Ablett. Payne coming in to back up is Richards to Reynolds. Handballs over to
Bailey.
That would be Bailey. Bailey sending it to the wing. Goes over the back. Terry Bright. Andrew Buse coming through again is Bailey, and he punches the ball away and will go over the line on the half forward line for Geelong. And time ticking on to 29 minutes. And Geelong 79 to Melbourne 43.
Turner against O'Keefe. Boz down to Buse. Buse a little chip into Couch, and Couch hasn't let him down. Taking a mark left forward flank. Geelong kicking to the right of our screen. Looks for Ablett and finds him. And Gary Ablett getting away from Paul Payne. Moving around the forward line, playing at centre half forward, but moving right around the forward line, has taken a good chest mark right in Geelong's left forward pocket. 20 metres out from goal, 45-degree angle. Ablett has kicked 4 goals, lining up for number 5. The ball a high one. We'll just wait. Has it gone across the face of goal? It has. And Ablett has kicked a number of points today, and Geelong now 80, playing Melbourne 43 in time on in the third quarter. As Reynolds brings the ball up high is Payne. Withers off the ground, Flower. Oh, O'Keefe over the Melbourne player there. And Darryl Burke, and Burke will get the free kick on Melbourne's left back flank. Goes in towards the centre looking for Flower. Flower makes position, takes a good chest mark, dodges, turns, gets a quick kick out and finds Bailey. Bailey dummies a hand pass, then in turn goes out looking for Stephen Newport. And Darcy will take the ball over the line, the ball to be thrown in. Centre wing. To do the ruck work will be Mossop and Hughes, the two number 10s. Hughes has been moved to a number of positions on the ground today and now is in the ruck, or ruck roving. And Martin Christensen has forced the ball over the boundary line for Geelong. And the ball slowly moving towards the Melbourne goal. Hughes again to do the ruck work with Mossop. Hughes in front, Mossop over the back. Bruns can't get it out. Hughes throws himself in strongly. Cleave in there. Withers throws himself in. And the ball taken to the ground by Hughes and Cleaves. And again, the umpire will have to bounce the ball. Right half forward flank for Melbourne.
Right, umpire Robinson. It's time ticking away to the 30-minute mark. That was Adrian Batterson. Players descend on top of Andrew Buse. So that's three-quarter time. Signal and finding Geelong 11-14-80, holding a lead of 37 points. Melbourne 5-13-43.
Play just about to get underway in this final quarter. The game Melbourne and Geelong. The kick getters to date for Geelong. O'Keefe has 10, Bright 8, Ablett 8. For Melbourne, Hughes is 8 and also Rodney Grinter. Marks, Brownless is 8 and Ablett 6, whilst for Melbourne, Lyon and Grinter both have 4. And Melbourne has 6-goal deficit to make up, and can they do it in this last quarter? Moore back in the ruck against Mossop. Was that full forward during the third quarter? Moore gets it back over his head. Throwing himself in his Buse. Can't get it out. Bruns with a left foot. Down towards Ablett. Ablett leading Payne. There hasn't been a change made yet. Richards. Handballing out. Melbourne start to run the ball. Oh, wow. Is that a reportable incident or not? I would hate to be on the end of that Damien Drum elbow, but play has gone down in the Melbourne's forward line. As we pick it up, the ball's shoveled out. Hocking tried to kick it out, but Lyon paddled the ball out. Withers drops the ball. No, says the umpire. And the players throwing themselves in. Hughes using his strength. Ice hold in front of Bright. Bright taps it over to Mossop. Mossop can't pick up. Traps the ball. And the umpire will have to come in and ball the ball up on Melbourne's right half forward flank. Mossop number 10, Bright 4. 9 is Turner.
Actually, Don, that player went down was the ex-Geelong player, Nigel Cole.
Hughes throwing himself over the ball, tries to get it out, and Batterson, number 16, who has been on and off the interchange bench, traps the ball, and again, it will have to be bounced by umpire Ian Robinson. Hughes and Mossop to do the ruck work. The two number 10s, Cleave, been a quiet player, across to Flower. Flower has the running Regolo. Regolo on his left foot, well smothered by Christensen. That's Martin Christensen. Well done, son. Flower comes back. Hocking. Can Hocking trap it? No, Flower does. Tries to get it out. And again, umpire Ian Robinson has got to bounce the ball. We've had 3 bounces and the game has only been going 2 minutes in this last quarter. Hughes, Mossop. Mossop gets it, can't control it. Flower head over the ball, well done, across to Jarrett. Jarrett going long, looking for the Melbourne forwards. No one can bring it down. Turner there, forced to the ground, ice hole. Bright putting the pressure on, and Bright will trap the ball. And Simon Icehole over the top of Bright, and the ball to be balled up in the Melbourne's left forward pocket.
Well, Melbourne in arrears, 37 points, and it's coming up to the 3-minute mark. They're going to have to work hard to win this one as the ball comes out from Jarrett, hits the ground, picked up by Icehole. A little hand pass over to his teammate in Withers. Oh no, it's Batterson, but Terry Bright will take the mark in defence to relieve. A little pass, Paul Couch. Oh, good play then, Adrian Batterson. He worked hard and got in front of Paul Couch and took the mark in the forward pocket.
Hilly is now playing on Boz in the centre.
Adrian Batterson. Been a fairly quiet player today.
Been on the interchange bench,
on and off,
Ray,
Don,
and
yes, noticed that.
He's a very courageous player.
I'm surprised they had him on the bench then, Don. He's more of a first rover type of player, as he has a shot for goal, and he's letting it swing in and just goes across the face of the goal through for a point. So Melbourne move on to 5-14-44, 36 points behind Geelong, 11-14-80 at the 3.5 minute mark. Mark Yates kicks it over to Tim Darcy, and it's being pushed over the line by the Melbourne player Russell Richards in front of the scoreboard as the boundary umpire will throw it in. Moore and Mossop. Moore got into the back there of Mossop, as could be a free kick there to Geelong. No, Drum comes over to Cleve. Cleve's got the hand pass down to Steve, the running Hocking. Hocking taps it along the ground. Coming in is Christensen, over to his brother Martin Christensen. Hocking, and the ball really going nowhere, and the umpire will ball it up. And well, there's a lot of players on the ball, Don.
It's a shocking game, to put it mildly. It has livened up since half-time, but I would love to know the number of ball-ups. I don't think I've seen so many for quite a long time, as you see Ian Robertson having to bounce the ball again on the outer wing. And Peter Moore now playing in the ruck. Turner at full forward. Moore gets the ball, a high one, back in towards the centre. Looking for nobody. O'Keefe up high, but staying down is number 47, Martin Christensen. Christensen, has been a solid player today, will relieve the pressure for Geelong. Now Christensen goes long. Looking down towards centre half forward, and no one home, but all Melbourne players, and Paul Payne takes an easy chest mark. Now Payne. Not a good kick off the boot, but he finds number 17, and that is Frank Regolo. Regolo goes forward down to Melbourne's half-forward flank, but a play held up again by Tim Darcy. Now Darcy will attempt to run the ball. Cleve over his head. A number of mistakes. This is unbelievable stuff. There's not much difference between the reserve grade and the senior grade today. And young Withers will take a kick. Goes into forward pocket. Jarrett can't control it. Christensen will see the ball over the boundary line, and the ball will be thrown in on the left forward flank, or left forward pocket I should say. Melbourne kicking to the right of our screen. Mossop and Hughes. Mossop. Line off the ground, and will it make the score? No, it won't be a score, and it will be thrown in right beside the left forward, or should I say the left point post in Melbourne's forward pocket. Again, Mossop and Hughes. Hughes behind. Mossop gets it down. Buse, 27. Oh, and Jarrett copped a good one from Tim Darcy. And the free kick will go to Andrew Buse.
Andrew Buse sending it out. He didn't have any Geelong teammate down there. There's two Melbourne players. Moore gets around Damien Drum. And we've got 58. I don't know him, Don. Who's 58? He's come on the ground. I think they've changed jumpers. But anyway, back to the play, and young Isol has got the ball. He would be around about 40 metres out, right in front. And whether young Simon can get the distance, I won't make the judgment. Let's see what he can do. And a good kick, son. And a good kick. And I think you'll find he's put it through. So that's put on Melbourne's 6th goal and making the score a little bit more respectable. Melbourne move on to the scoreboard up there, Don. They haven't seemed to have changed it. They've seemed to have given it to Geelong for some reason, but Melbourne are 6-14, trailing Geelong 11-14.
Well, you couldn't blame the scoreboard attendant for going to sleep.
Well,
in today's game, he hasn't seen much to keep him awake.
Wow.
As we see now, the ball back in the centre. More to do the ruck work against Mossop. Mossop. Grinter throwing himself down and falls. Cole had received that heavy elbow. Geelong go forward. Ablett, and what a good one-hander, Gary Ablett. Gary Ablett in front of Paul Payne. And Ablett at centre half forward. He's going to go long, looking for Brownless. and the ball off the side of the boot, a slice into Geelong's right forward pocket, and it rolls over the boundary line to be thrown in its right forward pocket. That is Geelong's right forward pocket. Brownless to do the ruck work against Moore. Moore using strength, holds on to Brownless, a little bit of experience. Bruns, Richards number 20. Grinter can't control it, or Hughes can't control it. O'Keefe, Regalo in hot pursuit. Mossop there, number 10, and Regalo endeavours to get the ball away, but can't, and again another baller. Well, umpire Robertson and umpire Dorr have had a lot of practice today bouncing the ball, and Moore and Mossop hold on to each other. 19 is Rodney Wright, and again another baller.
Don, this game's like watching paint dry at the moment, isn't it, actually? It's certainly not...
it's not inspiring stuff,
it certainly isn't, Don.
As we see Mossop and Moore again. Moore gets a decent hit out this time. Melbourne have players running in threes there. They can't control the ball. Oh, this is unbelievable. Boz. He gets the ball away towards centre half forward, and Couch takes a good mark. Across to Buse. Buse has got an open goal, goes for goal, and what's he done with it? He's missed it, and another point. So Geelong now 11-15-81, Melbourne 6-14-50. We have played 9 minutes of this last quarter.
Payne to Peter Moore, just a little pass. Batterson, no, he decides not to take the teammate running past, kicks it out to the wing, and Robert Flower and Michael Turner, both players haven't had a lot of influence on this game. Danny Hughes up to the half forward line. Cleve, well bumped by Turner, and Yates, a nice hole, will run the ball over the line and out of bounds. Well, coming up to the 10-minute mark, and 31-point lead to Geelong over Melbourne, 81-50, and I'm sure both coaches, John Northey and John Devine, wouldn't be very, very happy with both sides today. It's been a terrible game. Nicely picked up there by Batterson. Shoots it up to Turner, but Mark Yates punches the ball away and out of bounds. Well, we're trying not to fall asleep up here in the commentary box, Don and I, and certainly the game is not helpful to keeping us awake, is it, Don?
34 points in favour of Geelong as the ball's thrown in. Mossop has the ball, and Geelong changed direction of play through Darcy. Darcy going out looking for Christensen. Christensen in front of his Melbourne opponent. The ball trapped there, and no doubt, I'll bet you, oh no, well done umpire. At least now they're going to try and break up play. The Christensen brothers combine. Damien Drum back to Damien Christensen. Damien Christensen now running the ball across to Couch. Couch will go long, and he does, in towards centre half forward. Ablett and Payne up over the back is Payne. Rodney Wright following up.
Well, Gary Ablett's having a talk to the umpire, Don. He takes that when he climbs on other people's back. He didn't like that. Sorry there, mate.
Reynolds across to Batterson. Oh, that's throwing the ball. No, the umpire says play on, and Reynolds goes further down, and Alan Jarrett will mark on the left forward flank for Melbourne. Jarrett in turn goes to centre half forward. Turner over the back, punches the ball down. Hughes, ball punched down. Running in there is Nigel Cole. Can he pick up? No. Tries to soccer, misses it. Cole back onto it, quickly onto his left foot. Can't kick the ball. In there is Michael Turner. Oh. And that is something you'll see at 12 o'clock tonight on the FA Cup final from London. As a kick off the ground by Michael Turner.
Have you got a tip for tonight, Don?
I don't know, to tell you the truth, Ray. As we see Stephen Newport taking a good chest mark, and Newport well within kicking distance. Evans is on the ground. Lindner is off for Geelong. Lindner, who was a very good player, created a lot of havoc in the first quarter, kicking 2 goals. As we see here, Stephen Newport lining up for Melbourne's 7th goal. And Stephen Newport made no mistake, and that's Melbourne's 7th. However, Geelong 11-15-81, Melbourne 7-14-56. We've played 12 minutes of this last quarter, and Stephen Newport has kicked his first goal.
Well, that's Melbourne's 2nd goal for the quarter. They've kicked 2-1, and Geelong have only kicked 1 point. So Melbourne endeavouring to make a little bit of respectability to the score. But I feel Geelong have this game under control, coming up to the 13-minute mark. Moore and Mossop. Moore, Batterson, coming through as a that would be Boss, and umpire Dove will bounce the ball. Ruckman again, Moore. The back is Cleve. Down to the half forward, Evans. Pushing in front of Richards. Handballs it to no one in particular. And the ball runs over the line and out of bounds. So Geelong 81, Melbourne 56. And as we've said a couple of times through the commentary, hasn't been a very high standard game. As Hughes kicks it to the wing. Mossop on his own, should mark, didn't. Cleve backing up. Gets missed there by Christensen, but he goes back in and chases the ball up, and it's good play, Christensen. He made the mistake. And we've got Robbie Flower laying on the ground.
Ian Robertson to bounce the ball right on the Foster's insignia. Moore over the back, Jarrett. Christensen 47 picks up, goes long towards centre half forward. Damien Drum, Brill Brownless in front of Reynolds. Drum picking up, finds Damien Christensen. Damien Christensen goes around, goes in long towards centre half forward, and in front is Paul Payne, and he'll be paid the mark in front of Gary Ablett. Gary Ablett now playing at full forward and Brownless at centre half forward, as we see Reynolds miss an easy mark towards centre wing. And in front, a good Melbourne mark, and I think that's young Withers. It is. He plays on quickly, mulls a handball. I think 58 is Brett Bailey. Damien Christensen, Boz. He's got a ton of time to do what he wanted to with it then. Damien Christensen. Boz goes long. Ablett, Payne in front. Moore backing up. Picks it up. Turns back onto the right foot. Changes direction of play to find Nigel Cole, number 38, by himself. Cole has one bounce in the back pocket, bringing it around the wing. And Michael Turner, a good mark in front of Stephen Newport. Now the Geelong captain sending Geelong deep into attack. And Richards in front drops the mark. Ablett trying to lay the tackle. Richards goes back on his right foot. Goes high, back to where the ball came, towards the centre. Mossop over the back line in front. Jarrett breaks away, in turn goes long. A high ball. And Yates will get the free kick for around the neck. No, he's got to come back and kick over the mark. Stephen Turner standing the mark.
Okay, comes out from Darcy. Hocking. He's got Neville runs. Neville's got time to turn around and look down the forward line. Gary Ablett, Richards. Ablett's, once again, his recovery's good, but this time Melbourne through Payne gets the ball trapped, and he's not going to give a free kick. No, it's going to be a bounce. So the ball down in the Geelong forward line, to the left of their screen, as Mike Reynolds tries to clear it. Coming through is Batterson. Over to Hughes, but it's been smothered there well off the boot by Geelong as players all descend on it. That was Christensen and Drum.
It's hard to find good players, Ray, but I think Damien Christensen, number 39, has played very well today for Geelong.
Yes, just to say, Don, players like Michael Turner have only had 5 kicks, and Robbie Flower haven't had much influence on this game, and it hasn't been many outstanding players. As O'Keefe has got the ball on the chest if he wants it, or he takes a nice mark. Good play, David O'Keefe. Actually was very prominent early in the game, but since halfway through the second quarter has been fairly quiet since then.
If you get the ball out to David O'Keefe, he's a very good finisher. But again, Damien Christensen was the one who got the ball out and sent it up high. And David O'Keefe took a good mark, some 40 metres out from goal. Maybe 50, 45 metres out from goal.
Okay, David O'Keefe. Kicked one here early in the game, but this one's offline. Ablett and Payne, and we'll go through for a point, taking Geelong to 11-16-82 to Melbourne 7-14-56.
Stephen Newport takes the mark for Melbourne on its left half-back flank. Regolo Damien Christensen. Regolo follows up well. Hand pass. Endeavouring to run the ball, Melbourne. As we see here, Adrian Batterson coming through, trying to keep the ball in play, but it'll go over the line and to be thrown in on the centre wing. 82 playing 56. We've played 18 minutes of this fourth quarter. Moore and Mossop, both experienced players. Mossop. Buse down there over Melbourne players trying to get it out. Rodney Wright, 19, gets a hurried kick out. There he is again, Damien Christensen, a handball to Mossop. Mossop going high towards centre half forward. In front there is Grinter and takes a very good mark. Grinter runs through the centre square, going long. Looking for and not finding Lyon. Lyon just can't take the mark, traps it, hits it on. Well done, Gary Lyon. Batterson endeavours to soccer the ball, but desperate play by Cleve. 15 is Withers. Withers a handball further down the ground to Turner. What can Turner do? Another handball further down the ground. Flower. Jarrett, 47. Bright. And punching the ball through is Mark Yates, and that is safety first football. And that will be credited to Melbourne's score. Geelong 11-16-82, Melbourne 7-15-57.
Well, that was a terrible hand pass from Turner to his captain Robbie Flower. Nearly got Robbie killed as the ball now comes down to the centre. And we've got Darcy, and he sends it down to the half-forward line. Billy Brownless at the back. Oh, no, umpire. Oh, that was close. Oh, gee, Don, would you have paid that, Don?
Well, actually, I didn't see that, Mark. I was looking for a particular player. I called earlier number 58,
and I'll try to pick him up
Bailey, but Bailey is back on the ground, so obviously 58 wasn't.
No.
Brett Bailey.
Okay, Richards. Grinter. He's clear. We better get his kick, he does, into the centre, but Geelong send it back to the Holonley zone, and taking the mark is Paul Couch. Paul Couch goes around Frank Regolo, has a left foot shot. I think he will nearly put that through.
No, it's marked right on the line.
By Ablett. Well, it was either a mark or a goal. I was trying to just see behind what was happening there, and Gary Ablett has got the mark, and Gary walking back.
Well, distance won't be a problem here, Ray, and I wonder whether accuracy will be.
Well, he should kick this. He's had 4. He's coming up for his 5th. He has been inaccurate today, very unusual for Gary Ablett, and kicks it right through the middle. Geelong's 12th, takes them to 88, leading Melbourne 57, and that'll give you a 31-point lead at the 20-minute mark of the last quarter.
Well, that was Ablett's 5th goal, and he's also kicked a number of points, has been a worry, played at centre half forward and full forward today, and the move of switching Brownless and Ablett at the third quarter really did add some life to the Geelong forward line. Now ball, we're just waiting for the ball to come back into the centre. And again, we see Mossop and Moore. Moore will run in directly opposite the umpire in order to gain an advantage. Mossop, who runs straight ahead and not frightened to put his body in. Moore gets the hit down. And the free kick will go to Martin Christensen. Martin Christensen, named in the back pocket, drives the ball long through the centre square towards centre half forward. Brownless in front. Couch. 21 is Reynolds. Reynolds controls the ball, goes onto the left foot, returns it up to where we see Newport. Newport taps it onto the running Rodney Grinter. Grinter in across to Moore, but chipped out by Damien Christensen, probably the best player on the ground, and he gets one around the neck, but quickly gets up and plays on. Tim Darcy going towards Geelong, and Ablett up over the back.
Billy Brownless, Don.
Brownless, I'm sorry.
They look alike sometimes in the air, don't they? Similar players.
And Brownless really did get up high there to take a very good mark. His 9th mark, and Brownless is well within kicking distance. Brownless has kicked 3 goals to date. The ball on its way, drifts across the face of goal for another point. And Geelong now 12 goals, 17, 89. Melbourne 7-15, 57, and we've played 22.5 minutes after this last quarter.
Payne, Batterson, Players just about going through the motions now. It's coming up to 23 minutes.
I think they've gone through the motions all day, Ray.
32-point advantage to Geelong. Well, I think John Devine will be happy with the 4 points, Don. And that'll be their second in a row. And I tell you what, Billy Brown might hurt himself. He's doing it a la Peter Knight's, some of these screamers, as Craig Cleave gets a nice hand pass to his captain, Michael Turner. A little chip, and he's taken it nicely. It's
Paul
Couch, number 7. Over there, Terry Bright, the running Bright, coming down from the back line, and a little chip pass over then to David O'Keefe. And David O'Keefe, around about 40 metres out, on an angle, and he's decided to have a go. He's kicked 1 goal. Across the board today has been a fairly prominent player, and that's a lovely shot. No, just swings off. Players all descend on it. Richards, Ablett, and the umpire Robinson will bounce it in the goal square, and I'm sure that the Melbourne offence will try and get this through from behind. Moore and Brownless, and
Bailey
come out the back. Bailey and Geelong swoop through up to Brownless. Batterson out the back, sends it to the half-back line. Isold with Terry Bright. Isold's got 3 against him, and I guess he forced it over the line now to bounce. Good play by the young fella. He was outnumbered there 3-1, and over the line now to bounce, coming up to the 25-minute mark here with Geelong 89 to Melbourne 57.
just about to go into time on. The ball, Melbourne's left half-forward flank. Moore. Or Geelong's left half-forward flank. Hocking traps the ball. Batterson over the top. Withers also there to lend some support, and the umpire again has got to come in and bounce the ball. Been a very scrappy game today. Now umpire Robertson to bounce the ball on the centre wing. Moore and Stoneham back on the ground. Stoneham number 26. Withers, a hurried kick out. In front is Cleave. Traps the ball well. Tries to use strength to break through. Newport, a quick kick down forward. And in front there is Yates, picked up by Turner. A good hand pass across to 58. We don't know who that player is. And then Alan Jarrett using strength, dodges around Darcy, going towards goal. A high ball. What's going to happen? Turner, Flower, nobody can trap it until Yates does. He finds his captain Turner. Will he pick it up before it goes over the line? He endeavours to stop, and that was good play by the big fellow, Stephen Turner, to trap the ball and at least retain it in the forward line. Now play in Melbourne's left forward pocket, and to do the ruck work will be Stoneham, and over the back is Lyon. Turner, can he get his kick? No, it's smothered. Newport, a high kick towards goal. The pack there, ice hold. Damien Christensen or Martin Christensen will see the ball go through the points, and another point added to the Melbourne score. Geelong 12-17, 89. Melbourne 7-16, 58. And we're into time on. 1 minute into time on. 26 minutes played.
I think that player, Don, might be Daryl Burke, as the ball comes down. And we will find that's Tim Darcy. Darcy sending it across to the centre wing. And that's flicked over the back by Johnny Mossop, but he's going to get a free kick for in the back. So the game dwindling to a close as it Ablett comes to the ground. Couch, Paul Couch, Andrew Buse, but coming through as Alan Jarrett, doing a little bit of balking.
Wow.
And Paul Couch, I think it's Paul Couch, said, look, I'm sorry. I just try to stop him going through. Brett Bailey on his own. Bailey, no one making a lead, now line to sides, but he ignores that. Over the back to Turner. Yates, a good player all day, just punches the ball away. Coming through to back him up is Darcy, and a good footballer to Tim Darcy, sending it straight down the half-forward line. Mossop, but over the back, and a nice mark there by Danny Hughes. No, what, Don?
No,
it was... okay, Batterson. Jarrett. A long kick. Flower and Michael Turner. Michael Turner's gone everywhere. Robbie Flower's gone. As Tim Darcy once again from the back. Handballs to Buse. Michael Turner. looking for Mossop, but he's got two smaller players there, but he beat them and he got the trip too. Good play. That play was Grinter. Anyway, that's the final score here at the VFL Park. Geelong 12-17-89 defeated Melbourne 7-16-58.